Welcome to FinTech Buzz. Think about the last time you texted a photo to a friend. You didn't actually send them your original picture. You sent a perfect duplicate, keeping a copy for yourself. Apply that exact same logic to digital currency. If money is essentially just computer code, what physically stops a user from copying a digital dollar file and spending it multiple times? Computer scientists call this vulnerability the double spend problem. It is the risk that a single digital coin could be multiplied and sent to different merchants simultaneously. A physical paper note can only be in one person's pocket at a time. Native digital money lacks that physical constraint, leaving it inherently vulnerable to infinite counterfeiting. Historically, the financial system managed this double spend vulnerability by relying on central authorities. Banks act as the absolute middlemen, clearing every electronic transaction and maintaining a private master ledger of who owns what. But that centralized model creates a structural weakness. Relying on a single central clearinghouse gives hackers or hostile regulators one very clear, concentrated target to attack. If we look at early attempts to create digital currencies in the late 1980s and 90s, they all relied on this centralized clearinghouse model. Because they had a central point of control, they were easily targeted by worried governments and litigated out of existence. Fixing this required solving a notorious roadblock in computer science known as the Byzantine generals problem. This is the challenge of getting thousands of strangers on a network to agree on a single shared truth, like a financial ledger, without relying on a trusted central boss. Until the year 2008, creating a completely decentralized, unhackable digital money ecosystem was considered a mathematical impossibility. That year, a programmer under the alias Satoshi Nakamoto published a breakthrough. Nakamoto presented a completely decentralized computing ecosystem built on 4 structural pillars. Pillar 1 is the peer-to-peer network. Instead of routing through banks, the protocol runs on ordinary computers globally, eliminating central servers. Pillar 2 is the blockchain, a public transaction ledger securely shared and updated across every active node in that network. A shared network and a public ledger are necessary, but they still require a mechanism to prevent malicious users from falsifying entries to spend money they don't actually have. That brings us to Pillar 3, proof of work. To validate transactions, participants on the network, known as miners, must compete using their computer's processing power to solve complex mathematical puzzles. This global computation election happens every 10 minutes. The winning miner earns the right to add the next verified block to the blockchain, and in return, they receive newly created Bitcoin. Pillar 4 is consensus rules. The algorithm dynamically adjusts math puzzle difficulty, ensuring someone succeeds exactly every 10 minutes, regardless of total computing power. Deflationary rules halve new coin creation every 4 years, flattening out precisely at a 21 million coin ceiling. By combining proof of work with programmed scarcity, this ecosystem successfully replaces the currency issuance and clearing functions of a central bank with unalterable mathematics. To see how this architecture functions in practice, let's look at a basic retail purchase. Let's say Alice wants to buy $10 worth of Bitcoin from her friend Joe. Alice opens a digital wallet on her phone. The software randomly generates a unique receiving address and a corresponding QR code. She does not need to register her name, email, or any personal identity to do this. Joe initiates the transfer by scanning Alice's QR code. He enters the $10 US equivalent into his own wallet app, which automatically converts the input into exactly 100 millibitcoin. Behind the scenes, Joe's wallet uses a cryptographic private key to sign the transaction. This securely broadcasts his authorization to the peer-to-peer network so the miners can verify it. Within 10 minutes, the distributed network clears an irreversible transfer of value directly between 2 people, without relying on a single financial institution. When scaled past a $10 trade between friends, this architecture operates as an internet of money. It is an infrastructure built for high-speed, borderless transfers. That means an unbanked teenager running a web store in Brazil has access to the exact same global payment network as a merchant settling massive import invoices in Dubai, completely bypassing physical borders and traditional banking hubs. By stripping away the central authorities, the technology places total, uncensorable control of wealth entirely back into the hands of the individual user. Bitcoin solved a computing problem that had puzzled engineers for decades, establishing a masterclass in distributed trust. Have you bought your first fraction of a Bitcoin yet, or are you still researching the technology? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to FinTech Buzz for more breakdowns on the systems shaping our digital economy.